Hello, everybody. This is AG here, and welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the month of May. We are here for the first practice session of the 2025 Indianapolis 250. And hey, it's great to be back in the booth for the Haas IndyCar series. Of course, Caleb has been doing an excellent job calling the rest of the season, and he will continue once we are done with Indianapolis a couple weeks from now in the Haas IndyCar series season. But I'm back doing practice and qualifying for this Indianapolis 250, and of course this weekend is qualifying for the biggest race on the channel, the Indianapolis 250. We are going to see ourselves a lot of action and probably some drama as well as we continue on throughout the next 10 days leading up to the 12th running of the NR2003 Indianapolis 250. Today it is full-time practice, 30 minutes for the 30 drivers who are full-time in the Haas IndyCar series. And on Friday, all 36 entries will hit the racetrack, and that practice session will determine the qualifying order for Saturday. On Saturday, the fastest 9 will qualify for the Fast 9 shootout on Sunday and go for the pole. The slowest 9 on Saturday will go to the Last 9 shootout, and then on Sunday, the slowest 3 of those 9 will fail to qualify for this Indianapolis 250. I'm doing alongside someone who has called 2 Indianapolis 250s with me, Andrew Miller. You have seen Nicholas Sambadio go to victory lane in this race. He is a 2-time winner in this event. Audra Baranowskis won this race for the 2nd time in her career last year. What are the odds? And I know we have just started off here with the full-time practice session, but what are the odds that either of them get their 3rd Indy 250 race victory next Saturday afternoon?
Definitely possible. With Indianapolis and the IndyCar physics, it puts everyone on a very equal playing field. I would almost think of it kind of similar to a super speedway race, just with how much draft is involved and how close everybody runs together. And there could be some cycling involved as well, so that gives everyone an equal shot, and that includes Sambadio, that includes Baranowskis. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think anyone has won this race yet 3 times on the channel, have they?
Not. No. Of course, Nicholas Sambadio has had 4 opportunities up to this point of doing that. He has not won this race since 2020. But he is going for win number 32 of his career, though he could actually get number 32 prior to us reaching the race on Saturday, May 24th. But here he is in the number 5 machine, and quite fitting he's going to be our first driver we discuss here today. And we'll go through the entire field and their accomplishments in the Indianapolis 250. Of course, Nicholas Sambadio has been in this race more than anybody else. This is his 11th attempt at the Indianapolis 250. Of course, he has never failed to qualify, and he has won this race twice before. 2018, you called that race with me, Andrew, 7 years ago, by the way, and 2020 in the fuel-saving race that he won. That was the last time he won it 5 years ago, and he's looking to get it for Grattan Autosport and Stuart Grattan here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway next Saturday. Got the win. He is the latest winner in the Haas IndyCar series. Of course, we're going to open up the road course tomorrow for the Grand Prix of Indianapolis for these drivers. Nicholas Sambadio getting that win at Kansas on Thursday in the Haas IndyCar series and getting his 31st career win on the channel and his 7th in the Haas IndyCar series. Behind him, we got the number 80 machine. That is Chris Reynolds, who is attempting his 4th Indianapolis 250, though he did fail to qualify for this race in 2022. Driving for BO Racing, that is Bruno Oscar team's Bernardo de Oliveira's team there in the number 80 machine. And, of course, Chris Reynolds, a driver who is very experienced in this race. His best finish in the Indianapolis 250 is 6th in this race 2 years ago in 2023. Behind him, another Indianapolis 250 champion. This is the number 49 machine of Angel Gutierrez, winner of this race 2 years ago when he was a rookie and an Indy 250 only driver. Angel Gutierrez, a driver to watch out for, as always, here at Indianapolis, as he came right out of the gates with an Indy 250 race victory. And we're excited to see what he can do there. Driving for Blaine Keys. Blaine Keys, an owner here in the Haas IndyCar Series for BK Industries. I feel it's a bit of a shame that Blaine is not racing in this Indy 250, but he does have some say in what happens here. And he's got Marcus Glitch making his first ever attempt at the Indy 250, and Angel Gutierrez as his two drivers. Here's Anthony Hernandez driving for Webb Racing Enterprises. This is Anthony's first ever run in the Indianapolis 250, and the thing I like about this race, Andrew, and I'll let you talk for just a minute here, is we tend to get a lot of drivers who make their first career starts or have not had many starts on the channel who start this Indianapolis 250. And then you got guys like Nicholas Sambadio. Of course, this race is the biggest race run on the channel, but we've seen rookie drivers like Angel Gutierrez win this race. From your perspective, and though you haven't won this race before, what does winning this race mean if you are a new driver who does not have the experience that some of these guys in the field do have?
Well, you pretty much solidify your legacy on the channel as soon as you win this race. And just like the real-life version, your name will go down among a list of other amazing greats on the channel, like Samadeo, like Baranowskis, and then, of course, you have Gutierrez, who is going for second Indy 250. Oh my gosh, I did it. Indy 250 win. And so, yeah, it's as you said, it is the biggest race on the channel, and so your name will forever go down as an Indy 250 champion. The same goes for other big events on the channel. Once you get that, then that's what you're going to be known as, and your legacy will pretty much precede you at that point.
And of course, this race is the race you want to win. And I have the wins list of this race memorized in my head. Max Neuwirth, Christian Master, Aaron Walpole, Luke Rainey, Nicholas Samadeo, Audra Baranowskis, Nicholas Samadeo again, Ethan Lewis, Trey Smith, Angel Gutierrez, and Audra Baranowskis again last year. So two drivers have won this race twice before, which I think adds to just the mystique and the legacy of this race. The fact that we have two drivers who have won it twice now, both of them in this field, attempting this Indy 250, looking to get a third. And that's a pretty impressive feat. This is the 12th running of this Indianapolis 250. We've been running this race for over 10 years. It is the best race on the channel. Absolutely love it. When we get to Indy 250 weekend, I'm excited for it. And we've got ourselves Jay Knapp driving for Grattan Autosport here. Failed to qualify last year in this Indianapolis 250. And has not had the best of seasons going up to this point. But he's driving for Grattan Autosport. And Stuart Grattan, will he get an owner's win in the Indianapolis 250? That would be a huge accomplishment for the GRT team. And we'll see if Jay Knapp can, in fact, hold on and have an opportunity. His best finish was 2 years ago in 2023, finishing third in this event. One career win on the channel in this series in that same season. Right behind him, we got an Indy 250 veteran. This is the number 27 of Ace Garcia, attempting his 8th Indianapolis 250, though Ace did fail to qualify for this race in 2023. Driving for Dutch Atlantis Racing and Rogel Dorn's team, and one of the few drivers is actually returning to the same ride that he ran in this race last year. He had a good run in this race last year, and he had a good run in 22. That's his best finish 3 years ago, as he finished 7th. Here is the defending Haas IndyCar Series champion of Thomas Troxel, and he sits 29th in the points coming into this race. But I will never forget 2 years ago when in single car qualifying, he didn't even get a lap in, and then was one of the 3 slowest drivers in the last 9 shootout. Troxel missed the Indy 250 in 2023, but his best finish in this race is 2nd 5 years ago in 2020. He was runner-up to Nicholas Samadeo when he won his 2nd. This is Troxel's 7th attempt at the Indianapolis 250, driving for Team Williams. They are not Wisconsin Speedworks anymore. They are Team Williams, and Andrew Williams wants you to know that. This 25 machine looking to possibly have an opportunity of winning this Indianapolis 250. Marcus Glitch made his debut on the channel in the Freedom 50 2 years ago. This is his first attempt at the Indianapolis 250, driving for Blaine Keys and BK Industries. Of course, This is a new team to the Haas IndyCar Series, but Blaine Key's the owner. And if this was a rating series where we have the owner ratings, you know that team would be one of the best teams out there. But it is an equal ratings race, and that's what makes this race so hard to win, especially in the ratings era. These drivers and teams essentially have no control. They are up to the mercy of this game and how well they run in qualifying and in the race next Saturday. And we'll just see. All these guys have an equal opportunity at winning, which makes it so much more intriguing to see how it's going to go down. The number 33, this is the other Dutch Atlantis racing car, and this is Bibi Ruiz, who got a win at Lime Rock earlier this season in the Haas IndyCar Series. It will be his first Indianapolis 250 attempt here on the channel. In total, we will have ourselves 9 drivers who are attempting their first ever Indianapolis 250 of the 36-car field. So 25% of these guys have never attempted this race before, and 2 of them will be making their first career starts if they in fact qualify through on Sunday. And we'll see how it ends up shaking out with those 2 drivers. Of course, we will mention the 6 Indy 250 only drivers on Friday once we get all 36 cars on the racetrack. And hey, Andrew, this is a familiar ride for you and a familiar team, Durrani Racing, and it's the other Miller driving it. It's Carson Miller in the 86 machine. But I know you're excited to see Durrani Racing have a good run in this Indianapolis 250, and Carson Miller is currently fastest here, looking to attempt his first Indianapolis 250 this year.
Yeah, cool to see Carson up there at the very top, and quite handily so. 40.461. Almost a 10th clear of second place. but no, yeah, I mean, I've always got a soft spot for Durrani for obvious reasons. I drive for him in obviously 2 different series. And even though things did not go my way in the most recent Pro Series race, which I was literally watching as we were getting started. But no, yeah, Durrani's an awesome owner, an awesome dude. And obviously we share some similar interests, but it's awesome to see him also in the IndyCar Series. And Carson Miller, I think, has a very, very good piece under him, as long as that can translate into the 250. And then, of course, for single car qualifying, that is going to be huge. So we'll be keeping an eye on that 86.
And, of course, Carson Miller, pretty solid driver in a lot of the series that he has run. Won the Lenovo Pro Series Championship last fall. That's when he made his debut, and he's a relatively new driver to the channel, but he's got a very good opportunity, I feel like. And these rookies tend to do very well in this race. We'll see if that ends up translating through to next Saturday. This is the number 40 machine, and it is driven by Angel Oliveira, and she has been in this series for quite some time. Her 5th attempt at the Indianapolis 250, but her best finish is 24th. And she did that. She's actually done that the past 2 years, 2023 and 2024. Other driver there on BO Racing, 5 career wins on the channel for Oliveira, 3 of them coming in this series, and we'll have to see what she can do. And she's got a good opportunity, I think, at besting her best finish in this race come next Saturday. But of course, all these drivers still have to qualify their way in. There'll be 3 drivers who fail to qualify for this race. And you want to make sure that you got speed in your car once you get to qualifying on Saturday. We got ourselves the 04. This is Luna Lona, the 2023 Haas IndyCar Series champion, and the other driver for Durrani Racing, teammate to Carson Miller. Her best finish in this race, however, is 16th, and 3 career wins in the IndyCar Series, and of course a past champion. And Durrani Racing as a whole are the defending owners champions of the Haas IndyCar Series as well, when they had Thomas Troxel driving for them last year. So Ryan Durrani knows his stuff here in the IndyCar Series, and hey, I mean, you got a win for him in the Wawa Cup Series, so I know you guys have been doing an excellent job. Here is Logan Williams. No, I'm sorry, this is Bray. Yes, it is. Logan Williams does have the black roof rail, and Braden Perez has the white roof rail on their cars. They have the same exact schemes except for that. This is, in fact, Logan Williams, who is in the 63, and Braden Perez is in the 83. But Logan Williams finished second, runner-up in 2021 to Ethan Lewis. Logan's a driver who has been in this IndyCar Series, his 5th attempt at the Indianapolis 250, driving for Matt Tuck's team and Team Velocitar. He needs all the luck he can get. He is dead last in points, only 39 total points for Logan Williams in the Haas IndyCar Series. But hey, this series, and it's very true to real-life IndyCar as well, the Indianapolis 250 does override the rest of the season. And we're going to talk about the points a little bit, of course, but this race, this is what everyone is focused on, is winning this race. The championship at this point in the season does not matter to these teams and drivers. We got 6 drivers coming in. They don't even have an opportunity of winning the championship because it's their only race. And Logan Williams might as well be an Indy 250 only driver based on how poor he's run this season. But all that can change with an Indy 250 race victory, and he has an opportunity just like everybody else at doing so come next Saturday. Number 41, Bruno Diacomo. And talk about a driver with bad luck in this race. He's never even run in this race, but this is his 3rd attempt at the Indianapolis 250. Bruno Diacomo has failed to qualify the past 2 years in this race. He DNQ'd in 2023 as an Indy 250 only driver, and then DNQ'd again last year. He is the only driver to have failed to qualify for this race more than once. And I know all that he is hoping for going into this Indy 250 here in 2025 is to make the race. Driving there for Trackhouse Racing, the same team he drives for in the Wall Cup Series. His 3rd attempt in this race, we'll see what he can do. Number 93, that is Avery Alford, who has had a great run in the Wall Cup Series as of late. This is his 3rd attempt at the Indianapolis 250, driving for Evans Ross Racing. Best finish 2 years ago in his rookie year of the Indy 250. He finished 7th in 2023. We got ourselves, this is the number 52 machine, excuse me, and this is a driver we all know and love. It's Zachary Fitzwater, runner-up in this race 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago when he had that great battle with Trey Smith in 2022. I know he would love to get win number 30 here in this Indianapolis 250. He, along with Blaine Keys, are both trying to get to number 30. Sam Badillo hit that last November. We'll see what Fitzwater can do as this season rolls along. But Zachary Fitzwater there, his 6th running in this Indianapolis 250. The teammates of Bruno Diacomo there at Trackhouse Racing. It's a very strong team. And Zachary Fitzwater, I know he would love to have an opportunity at winning this race. And you know Zachary Fitzwater very well. He ran your NR offline leagues, and if anyone did that, they've been around a long time. So if you're Zachary Fitzwater, and I know it'd be a big win if he could pull it off next Saturday, but how big would that win be if Fitzwater won this Indianapolis 250?
Hey, just another notch in his calf. What hasn't Fitzwater accomplished in an NR offline? I was digging through the old Top Dragster archives and found out that he is the only current channel multi-time champion on that channel, and for him to get an Indy 250, I think would seem very fitting. Again, it's Fitzwater. He's been around the block. He's done it all, and for him to win this race, I think it's just a matter of time because of the accolades, and to add that accolade, you could almost call it a career at that point. But obviously, Fitzwater, he's going to be around for a long, long time, and he's got a lot to accomplish. And it's so cool to see him out there and trying to go for it again, and hopefully he'll be able to finish one spot better than his best so far.
We'll see if that ends up being the case for Mr. Zachary Fitzwater. We'll see if he can get win number 30 possibly next Saturday. He's got a couple races to go before that point as well, so we'll just see how it works out for him. Christian Vargas. It's worked out well for him in this race. He is actually the 2-time defending pole winner of the Indianapolis 250. He has won the pole the past 2 years in this race, both in 2023 and 2024. But his best finish is 2nd multiple times in 2019 and in 2023. Fifth attempt, I should say, at the Indianapolis 250, driving for Shane Lake's team there and Dog Pound Incorporated. Of course, this team won the Indy 250 with Angel Gutierrez 2 years ago. Here's number 13, Duncan Ward, who has done a pretty good job over in the Wall Cup Series, and I know Eddie is excited to have Duncan in this race, though Duncan has not had a good run in the series. A win in the Indianapolis 250 would be huge for Duncan Ward and this team at Team Williams. Of course, Duncan, one of those few drivers that's driving for the same team in Wall Cup Series and Haas IndyCar, and that is working out well for him over in the Cup side. We'll see what it does here as we move on throughout Indy 250 week. He is 2nd quickest right now, and attempting his first ever Indianapolis 250. Here is our defending Indy 250 champion of Audra Baranowskis, driving the one machine for Vision Motorsports. And Matthew Hubert, And a two-time winner of this Indianapolis 250 is Audra Baranowskis, and she joined the ranks with Nicholas Samio last year in that very interesting race. And something that I will like to point out, we're going to make sure we get that fuel window back to 40 laps this year. A caution-free race last year in the Indianapolis 250, and Audra Baranowskis able to stretch the fuel out to win the event on one stop. Everyone's going to have to make two stops this year, and we're going to make sure of that once we get down to it. But Audra Baranowskis, a legend here in Indianapolis, and who can forget her first win in this race in 2019? Jonathan King was going to win that race from the pole, came down the pit lane on the final lap, and Audra Baranowskis at the line steals it in the Indianapolis 250. One of the most memorable lines I think I have ever said, because back in the NOFSRL days in 2020, 2021, that is what opened up the NOFSRL intro. It's such an iconic moment on the channel when Audra Baranowskis won her first Indy 250 6 years ago. 6 actual years ago. That's the amazing thing about what we've done the past decade. We had the 10th anniversary race back in April. This race has been a part of the channel for all 10, now all 11 of these calendar years that we have run races on the channel. It is such a fun one to do, and Audra Baranowskis, a big part of the history of this race, attempting her 7th Indianapolis 250. How about Brendan Wilmington here in the number 98 for NS Racing? This is going to be his 3rd attempt at the race, but a best finish of 23rd. Still going for his first career win as a driver. Of course, a great owner in the Wawa Cup Series with Pacific Racing. And his development driver, Vinny Schultz, has had a lot of success, but Brennan himself has never gone to victory lane as a driver. Almost won his first start. And I think it was the 2020 Thanksgiving 500. He was runner-up in that one. A similar race to the Indy 250, though not quite to the level of this race. And I'm sorry, Andrew, I know you keep talking about Thanksgiving 500 and how much you enjoyed that race. This race is bigger. This is a bigger one to win. Tanner Parton, two-time winner this season in the Haas IndyCar Series in the current. Well, now he lost at the John Anders at Kansas. I'm sorry. I recorded that race. He's got it. He's 1 point behind John Anders, who happens to be right behind him right here. So isn't that fitting? Top 2 drivers in points currently here in the Haas IndyCar Series, right on each other. Tanner Parton, of course, a two-time winner this season. Those are his only 2 wins in the Haas IndyCar Series, but this is his 3rd attempt at the Indianapolis 250. Best finish of 11th in 2024. We got John Anders right behind him. John Anders is an Indy 250 OG. His 8th attempt in this race here, driving for Outer Island Motorsports and Mr. Benny Watson. That is my team. You know, I mean, I myself, Alex Graham is never in the series as a driver or an owner. It's always Benny Watson. But the Hertz machine looking as good as ever with John Anders leading the points here in the Haas IndyCar Series. Got a win earlier this season at Auto Club, won the opening race. And so far that is the most similar racetrack to this race here in Indianapolis that we have run at in the Haas IndyCar Series. But John Anders, this is his 8th attempt in this race, a best finish of 6th in 2020 when Nicholas Samio won his 2nd. We got the 07 Bradley Bradshaw in that 07 machine. This is his 3rd attempt. Derek Canada's development driver. Runner-up last year, was one of the drivers who was able to stretch it to the end. Just did not have the position there on the driver of Audra Baranowskis to win. But 4 wins in the IndyCar Series all came last year. He almost won the championship for Team Velocitar and lost it right at the end to Thomas Troxel. Driving for Dracoan Racing Enterprises here in the 07 machine, looking to get the biggest win of his career. Max Anderson, another Indy 250 OG right here. This is Alexander Rowe's development driver, who he has had in this race for many, many years, and only 1 career win for Max Anderson. That came in the IndyCar Series at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park a few years ago. His best finish in this race is 11th, however, all the way back in 2017, the first time he ran this race. The teammate to Anthony Hernandez there at Webb Racing Enterprises. We got the number 55 and another OG to this race. Noah Clifton, as a matter of fact, of all the drivers in this field, he is 2nd only behind Nicholas Samio for Indy 250 starts and attempts. Noah Clifton, his 9th attempt at this Indianapolis 250, driving there for Vision Motorsports. Or no, he's driving for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. I'm sorry. Vision Motorsports has a Celsius car as an Indy 250 only ride. This is actually Dracoan in the 55. for Noah Clifton. That's what you get when you don't do the series. I'm reading off my notes here, and I actually didn't read my notes. His best finish in this race is 5th back in 2020. A 3-time winner in the Haas IndyCar Series, including all the way back in 2016 he won a Road America. He's been around a long time, especially in this race. Dylan Matthews, she got a win earlier this season in that 39. The other car there at Evans Ross Racing. Her best finish in this race, and her second attempt at this Indianapolis 250 is 18th. So she was right down the middle last year. But she's been having a much better year in the points. She's 6th in the standings for a solid run last week at Kansas. Number 81 machine, Brad Stover. This is only Brad's third attempt at this Indianapolis 250. His best finish was 27th last year. He's the other driver there at Dog Pound Incorporated, teammate to Christian Vargas. We've already mentioned San Mateo and Gutierrez right there. And let's see, have we gone through all 30 full-time drivers? We talked about quite a few of these guys who are up there. Hey, we haven't talked about this guy. We haven't talked about my man Justin Zeidel, another Indy 250 OG. And this is his 8th attempt at this race. The other car there at Otter Island Motorsports. Best finish of 4th in 2020. A lot of these guys have their best finish in this race in 2020. Like Clifton, like Andrews, like Justin Zeidel, and Thomas Troxel. They were all up front in that race of 2020. All got bested by Nicholas San Mateo that year. But Justin Zeidel, this is a guy I would love to see win this race. And not just because he drives for my team, but this is a guy who has been dedicated to this series for so long, dedicated to this channel for so long, and like a lot of other guys, be a huge win, an awesome win to see if Zeidel can pull it off in that 75. But he's got 35 other guys to beat. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case for him. Aaron Abel in the 97. We've yet to get to Aaron here, driving for NS Racing. One career win in the IndyCar Series came at Pikes Peak a couple of years ago. His best finish in this race was his debut race in 2023 when he finished in 10th. And Braden Perez is a driver that we've yet to mention here. I'm not sure where he is on the racetrack. We'll get to it in a moment. There he is, Braden Perez, driving the 83 for Team Velocitar. Best finish of 25th in 2021 and 2024. And this is his third running in the race. His only 2 attempts, he has finished 25th, but he's never won in the Haas IndyCar Series. We'll see what he can do for Velocitar this year. All right. I think we have touched on all of them. And we always just leave ourselves just enough time to talk about all 30 drivers. And that'll give us some more time to talk about the Indy 250 only drivers on Friday. But Andrew, that's the full-time field, and usually this race is won by a full-timer, though it has been won by an Indy 250 only driver for 2 years. Who do you think has the best shot at these 30 drivers? We got a lot of great names, a lot of veterans to this race. And what are you liking so far after what you've seen here in this practice session?
Oh boy, that's like I said. I mean, it's such an equalizer at a track like this, and with the ratings being the way that they are, that's going to give everybody a good chance. Obviously, the 86 is looking really good. Has held that top spot pretty much the entire session. 13 Duncan Ward, though, he got up there at one point in the going and is now the only other driver in the .4s. But obviously, draft is playing a lot of part in a lot of these. But just a couple of quick notes that I had to make just as you were going through the field there. First off, I just want to say John Andrews leading the points, totally not rigged at all.
Hey, I don't run the series. It's Caleb. It's not my NR, so like it can't be rigged.
It's your channel, though. No, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, that obviously that scheme is an OG in its own right. So see if John Andrews can capitalize on that. And the other note that I wanted to say, Audra Baranowskis being the reigning winner and the one of the only other multi-time winners of this race, along with San Mateo. Remember, Baranowskis is a development driver for William Brock.
I don't think it's a development anymore.
Well, no, yeah, I just think development may be a stretch to say that word, but yeah, that is William Brock's driver.
It is.
Which is crazy to think about, the fact that Audra's been around the block as long as she has, and William Brock has had his fair share of accolades in a lot of races in his own right. So it's cool to see that a guy like William Brock and his driver have the success that they have. William's a great dude, and I'm glad to say that kept in touch with him on and off a little bit. So it would be really cool to see Baranowskis become the first 3-time winner of this race. But of course, Sam Amadeo on his own right, he's Mr. Edge. How can you not root for him in your own right, especially after what I did to him in Martinsville?
Yeah, you almost ended his career right there. Hey, he actually had a good springboard into this Indy 250 week by winning last Thursday at Kansas. And I was in the booth with Caleb to call that Kansas race, and I'm glad I got to see that. And Nicholas is a guy who has been in this series longer than anybody. 11 starts in this race if he qualifies. That means he's been in every single Indy 250 except for the first one. He was not in the first running of this race, but every time it's been a part of the season of the Haas IndyCar Series, he's been a part of it. Nicholas Zambadillo, he's just always there. He has just always been in this series, and such an honor to have him still around after all these years, still be as active as he is. And, this is a guy we're going to be watching for next Saturday, and I mean, it would be a huge story if he failed to qualify, which is possible. You know, it would be like if Fernando Alonso failed to qualify a few years ago in the Indy 250, Indy 500. See, I do the opposite. I call the real life thing the Indy 250. Most everybody else does the other thing, but they call this the Indy 500. And it's actually the Indy 250. Well, what a practice session, and really kind of a springboard to really talk about all these drivers. Getting myself used to these guys because Caleb has been running the series up to this point as he has the past couple of years, and of course he's been doing an excellent job, and he's going to do one more race for these guys tomorrow night on the road course. He's also got another race tonight in the CSX Indy Light Series, which, guess what, Andrew, you're a part of that, so get ready to run on the road course here in less than an hour. But this practice session is going to award Carson Miller a point. I failed to mention that these practice sessions award a point to the driver who is fastest, so Carson Miller is going to gain a point and tie Christian Vargas in the standings going into the Indianapolis road course race tomorrow evening. So congratulations to Carson Miller on that one. And this practice session and all these practice sessions really are not indicative to how well they run. The Carb Day practice is very similar to this one, where we kind of just run it out of formality, and we give a point to whoever's fastest so that there's at least some reason why we do it. But tomorrow's, or should I say Friday's practice, is going to determine the qualifying order, which doesn't necessarily mean too much because it's the same exact weather conditions that everybody ends up qualifying under, but it does kind of add a little bit to the drama, and if you're early on, you might really not know what time you need. If you're later in the session, you know exactly what you need in your car to advance on and qualify for this race. All right, Andrew, a lot of fun here today for the full-time practice session to begin Indy 250 week. Carson Miller is the fastest there, driving the car that you essentially run on the Wall Cup Series, but thoughts on this one, what we've seen here today, and what are you looking forward to as Indy 250 week continues on here? We're just getting started here from Indianapolis.
Hey, we're absolutely right. We're just getting started. It's going to be a big few weeks here of just seeing what these guys got, getting an idea of what the draft is going to look like. Obviously, we didn't see very many big packs, but we saw some guys getting side by side there, and you kind of get an idea of what the racing will eventually look like going into the main deal. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see if my Durrani boys and girls can make it happen in this race. But obviously, I mean, I'm just rooting for a great race to happen. Whether we'll get a moment as legendary as Aldrich Baranowski steals it, we'll see on that, but it's just cool to be a part of this in any capacity. It's like you said, I called this with you in 2018. Mm-hmm. Goodness freaking gracious. Mm-hmm. That's insane. And now look where you and I have come along in that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great tradition, and just best of luck to all the drivers. That's all I could really say is just put on a good show, and best of luck, and we'll make some more history here with yet another Indy 250, and maybe a first-time winner, and then they'll cement their legacy, or we'll get another multi-time winner, and you'll become pretty much an instant legend on the channel if you're not already a legend on the channel.
Well, Nicholas Samadillo is already a legend on the channel and all-time winningest driver leading up to this. And what he did at Kansas last Thursday night actually kind of solidified that a little bit more. He's got 2 wins now on both Fitzwater and Blaine Keys. And Blaine's kind of the guy that we all thought was going to catch to him, but now Samadillo, you know, if he gets some momentum here in the IndyCar series, a series that Blaine is not a part of, he could actually kind of pull away and still hold on to that, which it's a pretty big deal. I mean, we talk a lot about that. We've had, you know, Jesse Turner was up there for one point. Zachary Fitzwater held it for a while until Samadillo came around and took it. John Arndt was the first one to hit 20 all the way back in the day. We all thought Garrett Senor was going to be the first one to hit 20. He finally hit it in 2020. But, you know, now it's Samadillo, it's Fitzwater. Turner had it for a while there, but Turner kind of fell off a little bit there. And now Blaine Keys is coming through the ranks, and it's really cool to see how the all-time winningest driver has changed hands over the years. And right now, Nicholas Samadillo holds on to it by 2 races, which is a big deal because Blaine hasn't gone anywhere in the Wall Cup Series in terms of race wins. And the Pro Series, he kind of stalled out after winning 3 in a row. And Samadillo has some more races that he's going to run compared to Blaine throughout the year, and that's going to definitely give him a bit of an advantage, especially here in the IndyCar Series, which Samadillo is a legend. He's actually tied for the all-time winningest driver in the Haas IndyCar Series with 7 wins. He's actually tied with Fitzwater for that. So that's a pretty cool honor if you're Nicholas Samadillo. And Zachary Fitzwater. They've both been around forever, and they're both 2 guys who have been doing this. They're actually the only 2 guys. Well, Samadillo has now won every single year. Fitzwater has yet to win in 2025. So Samadillo has all 11. Fitzwater still has to get one in 2025 to keep that streak alive. But they're the only 2 guys who have won in every calendar year on the channel. But hey, Carson Miller gets the extra point here in full-time practice. And in less than an hour, we got ourselves the CSX Indy Light Series on the Indy Road Course, their second race of the season. And of course, those guys going to be the Freedom 50 this year as well. And the 3 drivers who failed to qualify on Sunday will run in the Freedom 50 next Friday afternoon, or next Friday at noon. And it'll be a lot of fun for the Freedom 50, as it always is. That is always such a good race as well. Oh, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to everything. We're just getting started here in Indy 250 week. It is the best week of the year on AG the channel. And we're going to have a lot of great stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Carson Miller for being the fastest driver here in the first practice session in Indianapolis, but we'll see if he can hold that speed throughout the rest of the week. Huge thanks to Andrew Miller for joining me here today, and enjoy the CSX Indy Light Series from the Indy Road Course here in just a few moments. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys later.